I am so happy to be here. I am so happy to not be in my house. I got to tell you, people, it's stressful in my house right now. My husband and I have been married 19 years, and that's a long time. We're going through some stuff right now, and I know we're going to work through it, but since I don't know you people, I may as well just tell you. It's something we've dealt with before, and it keeps coming up about every 6 years. So if I cry, I think you'll understand. Here's the deal. I'm growing out my layers. So for all the husbands in the audience who hear that from your wives, expect PMS-like symptoms for anywhere from 3 to 23 months, randomly. And I'm not getting a lot of support in my house, and that's where the stress is coming from. The other morning, I'm getting ready to head out the door, and my husband said to me, and this is an exact quote, "You look nice today." Today? I mean, this is the kind of thing I'm putting up with, and I'm not liking it. Not a bit. Oh, gosh, but I was so flattered and so excited to get a call from the timeout lady. It's a lady, that's her name, actually. She schedules. And she called me and said, hey, we would love to have you come out in March and do our March show. And I was like, I'll bet you would. So I said, well, gosh, thanks. Yeah, sure, I'd like to do that. And my heart's beating. I was like, oh, I've made it. They're calling me. So excited. So I said, and she goes, yeah, we're started talking about our theme and everything, and your name came up, several times. I was like, really? That is so cool. So what's the theme? Beware the thighs of March. Nice. First the hair. And the thing that I said was, wow, it's like the one body part that I don't really have any complaints about. What did you guys notice that I didn't? It's not like if they asked me to come and do Beware the butts of March. Okay, I got some material there, Gravity is not my friend. I feel like I used to have a nice round butt, and now I feel like somebody made a wax statue of me and leaned me against the radiator. It's just not the same, So if it was the butts of March, I can understand it. I'm ready for that. I mean, I understand that people, if they were to see me naked walking away, might really say, "Is that woman's lower back cracking?" That's not right. It's gravity. Gravity's not my friend. The other day I was getting my pajamas on, and God help me, I have a 15-year-old daughter who doesn't understand gravity yet. And I'm putting my pajama top on, and I look in the mirror, and I said, man, you just wait, man. Gravity is not my friend. And she goes, well, why do you say that? And I said, every night, I take my bra off, my breasts race each other to my knees. I go, it's just bad. And she goes, actually, I think that's good. And I was like, how can you possibly think that's good? And she goes, Mom, if there was no gravity, those things would be like bunny ears. Call me in 30 years, little smart teenage daughter. Oh, gosh. When your daughter is 15, you have to realize that you are not 25 anymore. Unless you're from Alabama. That's different. But I'm getting older, and I'm probably one of the few people. I actually don't mind getting older. I don't mind telling people how old I am. I'm 47. If you're taping that part doesn't go on YouTube. And so 47 years old, I don't know, I grew up in the 60s. And do you remember, for those of you who grew up in the 60s, there was an expression, we don't trust anyone over 30? Yeah. I now don't trust any man over 30 with a full head of hair. I'm not going to say abomination, but it's not natural. If you're a man with a full head of hair and you're 30 or older, I might come up to you and say, so, made any deals with the devil lately? I don't know. It's hard to be vain about your age when you've worn hearing aids for 20 years. Let's put it out there. That's just not a young person's accessory. It's just, just not. But I'll tell you, the one thing about wearing hearing aids is all the people who need hearing aids, and they won't wear them because they'll make them look old. So here's my message to all of those people in their 60s and 70s that don't want to wear hearing aids. It's entirely possible that this makes you look old. What? What did she say? What did she say? It's not a young look. You don't see the teenagers with their pants down around here doing that. You're not fooling anybody. I don't know. Oh, gosh. So I have hearing aids. I got glasses when I was 8. And just this year, I was blessed with bifocals. Loving it, loving it. Bifocals, I mean, some people think the internet is cool. Bifocals are the best invention ever. Yeah. So if you are reading and you have bifocals on, you can actually see the page. And then if somebody walks in the room, you can tell who it is. Bifocals, when you are sitting still, are the coolest thing ever. Not that great for walking. Yeah, at first I thought, one of those darn kids put an escalator in, but no, it's kind of how the stairs look. So we're getting older. That's all right. I don't even mind because I'm telling you, as I'm getting older, my kids are getting older. My son is 13 and my daughter is 15. And I'll tell you what, over 50% of the lectures delivered in our house now are by them to us. Yeah, so apparently as they get older and more mature, we are allowed to be less mature, less responsible. It's a beautiful thing. About 2 months ago, I was working on an open mic thing, and I was typing it up in the office. My 13-year-old son comes in, and he's not famous for doing his homework on time, let's just say. And that's one of his teachers. And so he comes in, and I'm typing. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing open mic tonight. I'm typing up some notes." He goes, "Tonight?" I go, "Yeah, tonight." He goes, "Well, how long did you know that this was coming?" I go, "A couple months. I don't have time to talk right now. I can type it." And he goes, "So are you telling me this isn't important to you?" "No, it's important to me. What's your point?" "I'm just saying, if you wait until an hour before your project's due, I'm not sure that you're going to turn in your best work." It's like, honestly, go see what your dad's doing. He probably needs to talk to you. I went shopping with my daughter, wanted to get a pencil skirt. This should be a basic wardrobe item. Black pencil skirt, it's a basic skirt. I have what I think is the perfect item. I come out of the dressing room. I said, "What do you think of that?" She goes, "What do you think of that?" I said, "I think it's really cute." She goes, "Let me ask you a question. When you go out of the house dressed like that, what kind of message do you think you're sending to people who don't know you?" And you know what? The more she was talking, the more I was reverting. By the time I walked back to the dressing room, I was rolling that waistband, working it. Oh, gosh. We were on the way to school one time, my kids in the car, and somehow there's some kind of bend in the time-space continuum, and we were early. And every day on the way to school, we drive by Starbucks. And so I said to the kids, let's stop at Starbucks. I don't know how, but we're 10 minutes early. And they said, "Oh, okay, yeah." It's like, "Yeah, get you all sugared up and drop you for homeroom. That's what we'll do." So I get out of the van. Of course, they don't want to go with me, God forbid. So the minute I'm out of the van, they've got their little iPods in and, they're off in their own little world. So I go to Starbucks and get a couple hot cocos and get a latte, and I'm getting ready to leave, and they don't have any of the containers, And they always have those, but they're out, the little cardboard carriers. So I said, "Oh, that's okay. You know what? I'll just stack them. I'm good." So I take the drinks, stack them up, head out to the car, where the children have now locked the door. So I've got my drinks. And really, this is where I made my mistake, because I greatly overestimated the power of my own cleavage as a drink holder. So I thought for sure, probably my mistake was I was here, and I should have been. So got them all stacked up, and the kids are not seeing me coming, and the doors, so it's like I'm stacked, and you can see where this is going. I get the key out, and everywhere. Just everywhere. So I get the door open. I've got like one half of one hot cocoa left in my hand. And my daughter looks up at me and says, "What did you do?" Well, I had the drinks. I had them stacked up like this, and then I had to get my keys out. And my son's like, You could have knocked on the window. But I had to, and they're just giving me such a hard time. And I was like, geez, you guys, I said, look, I've got a meeting, and I don't have time to go home and change, okay? So I don't want to hear it from you. And my daughter said, you know what? I'm really sorry that you're going to have to go through that, but sometimes when you make bad choices, you have to face bad consequences. And my son said, if you learned from this, it's not all bad. See if I ever stop at Starbucks for them ever again. Oh, gosh, we're having a nice family time. 4 of us in the minivan. People who've heard me before, I love my minivan more than anybody else's minivan, a lot. And my husband's driving, and it's a rainy, nasty day, and we got all the kids in the car, and he's backing up, and you can barely see it, and he just gets going, and you hear ka-conk. Yeah, exactly. And so, my first thought, I swear to you, was, oh, thank you, God, the first Stanton, I'm not driving. So we get out. It's a giant Jeep with big metal bumper. Nothing happened to that. And talk to the guy. Yeah, it's a bummer. And my husband's like, geez, sorry, that is a bummer. And again, I'm like, better you than me, better you than me. We get back in the car, and he kind of starts the car up, and we're getting ready to go again. And my son says, will we be hearing an apology now? And I'm like, well, it's not your car. What do you care? And my daughter said, we're talking to Dad, and we would like an apology for the language that we just heard that was not appropriate. I was like, wow, I didn't hear a thing. So my husband's like, I don't think I used inappropriate. And my son's like, oh, but you did. You said S word, S word, S word 3 times, and we heard you really loud. So my husband, what choice do you have? You're caught. He's like, gosh, I am so sorry. I apologize. That was not appropriate language. He immediately looks over at me and goes, could have been a lot worse. Oh. So yeah, I don't have a problem with getting older, and kids are getting older. It's all getting better, right? I think the next stage is they're gone and we're retired. And now that I've explained to my husband that it is our house from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 in the morning, and it is my house from 7 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. Now that we understand that, I think retirement is going to be just fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. There's something that comes after retirement, and this is, people don't like to talk about it, but it's out there. After at some point, we're going to be old and infirm, and some people are putting money away for that day, and I wish you luck with that, but not me. I'm going with Plan B: manipulate the children. Yeah, because the day is coming, my friend, when my husband, the love of my life, my partner, become nothing more than competition for my children's assets. So when he and my son have words, and the testosterone's flying, and my son stomps off to his room, I wait a reasonable amount of time, and I go walking right after. I'll say something like, you're pretty mad at your dad, aren't you? I'm furious with him. I go, yeah, well, it's hard sometimes being a teenager when you have a completely unreasonable father.